Hello everyone and welcome back to theCUBE's live coverage of NetApp CONVERGE here at the MGM. We are live in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Rebecca Knight, along with Rob Strechay. Rob, enterprise storage, this is your vibe, this is your jam.
Yeah, I may know a little bit about it. So I'm excited to actually talk about the products and the outcomes from those products as well. And I'm excited for our next guest.
With a dear friend of theCUBE, Sandeep Singh. He is SVP Enterprise Storage at NetApp. Thank you so much for returning to theCUBE, Sandeep. Always a pleasure.
Rebecca, Rob, thank you for having me. It is great to be here again.
Yeah.
So as we were saying, enterprise storage, it's come a long way. How do you see recent developments to help power more intelligent, more efficient, more resilient data infrastructures? And how do you see NetApp fitting into this evolution?
Yeah, look, enterprise storage is just evolving at such a rapid pace. It used to be just about you had to store data and serve it to your application workloads, but the requirements and the needs have evolved for customers. It's a lot more to do not only with the reliability and the best performance for your workloads, but all of the protection needs that come into place from cybersecurity. Ransomware attacks are just on the rise. And new workloads are coming into place, such as AI. There's compliance initiatives, sustainability, and these are all factoring into the innovations going into enterprise storage, which is really where the need for intelligent data infrastructure is coming into place. NetApp's contributions are really helping customers get that optimal price performance for every need, for every workload. But bringing all of the intelligent data services to help them protect their data as well as have it AI ready. So specifically, our unified AFF A-series is ideal for customers for their high performance file workloads, for their mission critical VMware and database workloads. In addition to that, our ASA A-series is providing customers that resilient, that high performance, low latency storage for their VMware and database workloads. And we also provide customers with capacity flash for their tier 2 general purpose application workloads. And then ultimately, customers have a need increasingly for content repositories for modernizing data lakes. This is where we bring along one of the industry leading object storage platforms with StorageGrid. And we're wrapping all of this innovation with helping customers just simplify. Customers are mired with silos, and that breeds a lot of complexity across the board. We're helping customers simplify their end-to-end environment, gain just transformational flexibility, and while enabling them and empowering their folks and their workloads to go faster without compromise.
Yeah, so I think you and I have been around the block a little bit, not the storage block or whatever you want to call it, but but when you start to look at it, not every customer's challenges are the same, and this is especially true when you get into kind of the mid-size and mid-tier companies. What are some of the challenges that you look at, and how are you really helping them modernize their IT as well?
Yeah, look, for mid-sized enterprises, in many ways they are tasked with helping to support very similar workloads across the board as the larger enterprises are doing. But obviously, you will find more IT generalists that are tasked with a broad mission of supporting all of the infrastructure and all of the workloads there. You have to have the infrastructure be super simple, easily scale, but providing all of the resiliency, all of the performance characteristics to them. And this is where we're making a difference with our medium and small size customers to, their entry point, they can get into all of the data infrastructure technology at much lower price points through having the right configurations and starting price points available to them. They can have the simplicity, so they don't need to have all of the detailed knowledge there. They can manage directly, for example, from VMware environments for all their virtualization infrastructure. And they want to be able to just collapse a lot of the layers. So when it comes to data protection, when it comes to disaster recovery, they want to be able to get that built in and available to them as a service. so they don't have to have multiple independent layers. We are simplifying this end-to-end for our mid-size enterprise customers.
You mentioned that ransomware attacks are becoming more sophisticated. They're also becoming more frequent and more damaging and expensive for companies. How can enterprises build AI-driven resilient strategies to protect their most valuable data?
Yeah, Rebecca, you're absolutely right. Ransomware is just a very top of mind priority. We all know that ransomware attacks continue to be on the rise. And look, when an enterprise, an organization is looking at how do they protect themselves, clearly they need to have all of the layers of necessary protection. But ultimately, storage becomes the last line of defense. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And a lot of the solutions out there are still working on whether it's multi-factor authentication, multi-admin verification, immutable snapshots, and or post-process detection of a ransomware attack. But that takes hours to days, and a lot more of your data is impacted. Where NetApp is really helping to change the game and bringing the leadership capabilities is with real-time ransomware detection that is powered with AI and machine learning, and that is happening in a matter of seconds to minutes, not hours to days later. What that enables is essentially minimizes the amount of data that is impacted. Secondly, that becomes the ability to recover rapidly. This is one where we're just seeing amazing growth for customers turning this on. It's enabled through the ONTAP One software license that's on customer systems. But we're not resting there. We've already moved beyond. When you think about kind of the nirvana state for customers, is you want to be able to automatically classify their data sets, provide them with recommended protection policies, enact and implement all of those policies automatically, so admins don't have to go and manually turn on volume by volume, and then enable workload-based recovery. We have this end-to-end automation and orchestration that is built in and available to customers through BlueXP ransomware protection as a service. And the game just continues on from there to data exfiltration and how do you detect anomalies and detect any type of data exfiltration event. And finally, I'll say, look, in a number of areas, especially in EMEA, a number of compliance initiatives are really driving the need for a cyber vault. We are enabling customers to have a cyber vault with full 3-2-1 protection and be able to have independent and immutable locks on their data sets from primary and secondary storage as well as tertiary sites. So it's one area where it's a top of mind for every customer, and we're just trying to stay ahead to make sure that we're continuing to empower customers to protect themselves.
Yeah, it would seem like, again, you brought up the EU and stuff, and you got DORA over there, not the Explorer, but the actual Act. And you start to look at some of the different regulations like the AI Act and some of the other things that are coming along. A lot of this has to do with these systems are mission critical databases, VMs. You have VMware and OpenShift, Red Hat's OpenShift and containers, and people want to manage it. Like you said, the persona is more platform engineering-esque, not a storage specialist anymore. It's very, very across that. How do you see NetApp really helping customers meet these mission critical demands that they have put in place, because these applications now, they got to be up and running real quick because of some of this government regulation over there?
Yeah, 100%. Look, mission critical environments, virtualization, database application workloads, whether it's SAP or Oracle or SQL workloads, that are paramount to running the business. Today, they're predominantly run on block storage systems. We actually help thousands of customers with those application workloads, even through the lens of our unified AFF portfolio. And in addition to that, where they're looking at, they've got it deployed on block workloads, where they're really looking to modernize the underlying infrastructure to get consistent levels of performance, to ensure that they've got 6 nines availability because it's a mission critical environment. And increasingly, real-time ransomware detection is not just about file environments, but also for block storage environments. We give customers the flexibility of being able to deploy on our unified AFF, either through a NFS environment and or through block storage. And then we also offer them the ability where they want a dedicated SAN environment. With our ASA A-series, customers are able to get just unrivaled data security, first of all, across the NetApp block portfolio. That real-time ransomware detection, we had it available in file. We are now making it available for block storage environments. That is a game changer for customers. And all of the resiliency, 6 nines availability guaranteed, all of the efficiency characteristics that customers have of how do they convert raw to effective capacity, all of that is built in for them. And they have the flexibility to be able to manage their infrastructure and deploy it on their shared file and block environments or dedicated block environments for their SAN workloads.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I think, again, you hit on a really, because doing it in block is a lot harder than doing it in file.
Yes.
I get. So this has to have been driven by customer feedback and how that is. What have you been hearing from the customers that really has driven this innovation down this direction?
Well, look, when customers think about security, they have to think about security end-to-end across their full environment. It doesn't stop with just files, right? Their mission-critical apps are running typically on the block storage environment. And they shouldn't have to go and make trade-offs between file or block environments. This is where we are uniquely bringing that real-time ransomware detection capabilities across on-prem, in file and block, and then extending it even beyond that to customers' workloads running even on cloud storage environments, and they should have the ability to get that real-time detection there as well.
Sandeep, you have run multiple marathons, ultra marathons. You've backpacked 75 miles of the John Muir Trail. I'm curious to hear whether you take any parallels between those feats, which require serious endurance and planning, and your success in enterprise technology.
Well, look, thank you for bringing up marathons and backpacking. One of the core things that you, first of all, it's preparation and training makes all the world a difference. And I think one of the first parallels when you think about life as well as your work life as well, that parallel just goes straight forward into there's no substitute for the right preparation. And details of training really matter. Second thing I would really highlight is when you're running a marathon or an ultra marathon, there are always lows. But you also recognize behind every low, there is a high that is coming around the corner. You just can't see it when there's a low. And that is such an amazing life lesson and a work lesson as well. If you can just keep that in mind, it enables one to really look for those highs and anticipate that.
And enjoy them.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, building off of that, I think again, I think you have to plan out your runs. You have to plan your preparation and having those strategies. I parallel it to like, people are like, oh, we're just going to throw up AI and just put it on our data and it'll all be good. I don't think that's not how it happens, right? And I think that's where a lot of people have gotten into POCs and not gotten out of POCs with AI. What are some of the things that you look at from a data management strategy perspective that is really helping your customers get from POC to production with AI?
Yeah, look, first of all, AI is such a top level priority for everybody in terms of looking at how do you get productivity gains or get transformational customer experience that can be enabled and or just uncovering net new revenue or business streams. What we are seeing across the board is in shifting from POC to production, it becomes incredibly important for customers, first of all, to have the best infrastructure for AI, they're available to them. AI is just such a high performance workload, especially when it comes to model training or RAG and fine tuning, that you need to have that best infrastructure in place. That's the first place where we are helping customers. We're seeing this where customers start their AI journey with modernizing data lakes, and they're landing on object. This is where we're seeing a strong adoption of storage grid for helping customers modernize their data lakes. Secondly, as customers embark on model training or RAG and fine tuning or inferencing, this is where they're looking for validated solutions in partnership with NVIDIA, with DGX, and this is where we have SuperPod validated solutions with our AFF A90 that's enabling customers. Moving beyond that, what we have heard from a lot of customers is where they struggle is being able to find the right data sets and make those data sets available to the right data science teams. And how do they ensure that the right levels of privacy are in place so that there's no compromises, there's the right governance levels and compliance that is being met. Customers are spending an inordinate amount of time just making sure how can they find the right data sets there. So getting their data AI ready is a challenge for them. And then the second challenge becomes, well, geez, when I go and build out this AI pipeline, and I now need to go and have the right classification, privacy, all of those filters in place, and then basically when they build out the vector databases and vectorize, they're seeing a data bloat challenge in place, where their data is multiplying anywhere from 10x to 20x. That is a major challenge for customers. How we're helping them is we are enabling customers to be able to simplify end-to-end. We're enabling customers to have their data that is AI ready and bring data or AI to data. And secondly, also enable them to take the right subsets of data over to AI, for example, in the public cloud, where we are working on all of the necessary integrations to enable them to take subsets of data efficiently and securely and seamlessly make it available into the AI tools within the public clouds. The other areas where we're helping them is we can help them minimize the data bloat by 5x. So that brings a tremendous amount of efficiency. And finally, it comes down to how do you make the infrastructure invisible to the data science, the data engineering teams. They don't know how to speak all of the storage language, so you have to have the right ecosystem integrations with all of the, whether it's the MLOps layers or other tool chains that are being built out. So we're thinking about this end-to-end and really excited to what we can enable for our customers.
Excellent, a great note to end on. Sandeep, thank you so much for coming back on theCUBE. Always a pleasure having you on.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Rob.
Good seeing you.
I'm Rebecca Knight for Rob Strechay. Stay tuned for more of theCUBE's live coverage of NetApp CONVERGE. You're watching theCUBE, the leader in enterprise tech news and analysis.